This is Sky Sports, a part of the British Sky Broadcasting Network.
This week on a special edition of NHRA Today. A look back at the 1992 TRW All-Star race, featuring Comp's cream of the crop and the wide open world of alcohol dragster, plus an alcohol funny car frenzy. From National Trail Raceway, it's an elite field of super sportsmen squaring off on this edition of NHRA Today. Over the course of a year throughout North America, every time a couple of sportsman cars do battle in NHRA competition, TRW All-Star points are awarded. Whether it's an alcohol-powered dragster or a weekend warrior in Super Street, the leaders from each eliminator in all 7 divisions are invited here to Columbus, Ohio for the TRW All-Star race. Hello, everyone, and welcome to one of our patented time traveler editions of NHRA Today. I'm Steve Evans. Now, I know it's winter wherever you are, but in Columbus, Ohio, here at National Trail Raceway, it's a balmy 82 degrees because today is June 13th, the Saturday of the Oldsmobile Spring Nationals. In the next half hour, we bring you exclusive highlights of the race within a race, the TRW Sportsman All-Stars. You see driver introductions going on right here. There's $70,000 at stake and a lot of geographical pride. To tell us more about the format and the competition, here is Bob Fry.
Thanks, Steve. You know, the TRW Sportsman All-Star program is unique in all of drag racing. First of all, it's the only all-invitational program in the sport. Well, technically, you don't get invited to this. You've got to earn your way into it. Secondly, it's the only time during the year when we actually have team competition. Now, looking back to last year, Division II successfully defended the championship that they won in 1990, and they were the runner-up team even the year before that. Coming into today's program, it looks like that Division IV team might really be loaded with talent, but it's anybody's guess. Now, the interesting thing about the team competition is that the guy in Super Street has as much to say about which team eventually wins this as the guys in the top alcohol dragster and top alcohol funny car categories. They all earn points equally. Should be a great matchup. The only thing we know for sure is that the TRW Sportsman All-Star is the best sportsman race in the country.
We're getting ready for the Super Street final, but first, Bob Fry has a report on one of the finalists.
In only his second year of Super Street competition, Ken Klisch made it to his first TRW All-Star race. And needless to say, Ken was having a ball.
It's spectacular. I mean, it's very nice for TRW to put up the time and the money for the sportsmen like myself. I don't get a chance to go to very many national events, and this is a real nice bonus.
His first TRW race was against defending Super Street TRW champion David Tatum. Klisch clipped the Division II rep's reaction time with a 4:20 light, and that was all Ken needed to post the win. The Minnesota driver backed up his first round win with a perfect 1090 run against Gary Howell in the far lane to move into the finals.
All right, Bob, let's begin our final round coverage of TRW competition with the category called Super Street, based on a 1090 lapse time index. Ken Klisch from Coon Rapids, Minnesota, and the 70 Chevelle over on the far side. The near lane is the veteran from San Leandro, California, Ted Seipel. Good start by both drivers. Klisch, though, already in command at the halfway point. Remember, 1090 is the perfect elapsed time in Super Street, and Klisch hits it 10.90 to a losing 10.92. Klisch has won here his first full season in Super Street. Let's go to Bob Fry down at the far end to talk to the new champ.
Ken Klisch, great win, Ken.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank TRW for putting up all the money in this event for all the sportsmen, and it's been a wonderful weekend.
How close was it?
I hit the override, I got on the brakes, and I was lucky again.
Nice job.
Thank you.
All right, our next TRW final round coming to the starting line. This time it's Super Gas, the category based on a 990 elapsed time. On the left side of your screen or in the far lane, that is Bob Caroli from Port Orange, Florida, originally from French Canada, and he has got a big advantage over Kyle Seipel. Kyle just saw his father beaten in the final round of Super Street, trying to salvage some of the family honor, and he's not going to do it. A 993 wins it for Bob Caroli on reaction time alone. Kyle Seipel actually had a better elapsed time at 9.92. Here's Bob Fry.
Bob Carolla comes out and puts one in the winner's column for Division I. Way to go.
Yes, good. I don't speak very good English, but I'm happy, and I don't know.
Congratulations, Bobby.
Thanks.
Now, if there's a team with a home field advantage, it has to be Division III, and especially that Jakes team.
This is our home track, and we race out here every weekend that we're not racing at an NHRA event. And we bracket race here on the weekends and so forth. But everybody's tough, you know, you can't count anybody out.
And that's exactly what teammate Jay Coughlin Jr. found out in Super Gas. Now it was Troy's turn to see if he could get something going for the home team. When Troy lined up against Division I's Jay Hellman in the far lane, this race was over in the flash of a red bulb as Troy fouled out, sending Hellman on to the finals.
It's time now for the TRW Super Comp finale. The category is based on an 8:90 elapsed time. Over in the far lane is Jay Hellman of Norristown, Pennsylvania. He's got a lot on his mind right now because up against him in the near lane is the world champion, Scotty Richardson, Fort Worth, Texas. Richardson with a terrific elapsed time, almost a perfect light. Hellman, on the other hand, was a little bit late, and it's going to cost him. Scotty Richardson wins it at 8:96 to a quicker 8:90. Driving has been a big part of success today in these TRW final rounds. Look how close this was.
A little extra special beating Jay since you put out your brother?
Yeah, Evan's car broke first round, and I really wanted to race Evan in the final, but yeah, it was just my day, and luckily, about time I'd done something. Evan's been doing it all year.
Okay, now we've got the stock final coming up, and believe me, these guys will do whatever it takes to get the win. The racers in stock eliminator at the TRW All-Star program will pull out all the stops in order to get the win. For example, Dave Young running in stock, he's got to take on Terry Emmons in the next round. The Emmons clan, of course, runs those Rodent Chevrolets, the Rat Motors, and the Mouse Motors. So Dave's going to call on his best friend, his only shot to win it in the next round, the world-famous Chevy Rodent Protector. Terry, you've got Dave Young, and he's got this stupid bird on his front seat. I mean, can that possibly help him beat you?
No, I don't know. Dave, he's a good driver, and, you know, we like to pull these gags every now and then. It's going to be a good race.
You guys have anything on your front seat?
No, sure don't. Just, I guess, God willing and good luck.
What are you guys going to do to that bird if he does beat you?
We're going to hang him from a tree.
Well, all the owls in the world couldn't stop Terry Emmons Chevrolet in this semifinal matchup. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ladder, Division 6's Glenn Huntingford was busy knocking out defending TRW stock champ Bob Broadbent and Division 1's Johnny Williams to get to the finals, even without an owl in his car.
All right, here we go into stock eliminator. Now, normally in this category, you'd see handicapped starts based on the national indexes dialed into the tree. Not so in the final. These are both G-stock automatic cars, so it's heads up with no breakout. Glenn Huntingford in the far lane from Washington State in the 74 Barracuda. Terry Emmons, Pasadena, Texas in the 69 Camaro. Almost identical reaction times. But across the finish line by a fender, it's Glenn Huntingford, who drove nonstop over 40 hours to get here from the Northwest. If you like close drag racing, boy, today in Columbus, Ohio, you've come to the right place. Bob?
Glenn Huntingford's going to find out that 44-hour ride was worth it, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's real good ride. I might come back.
You wouldn't want to make this a weekly affair, though, huh?
Not the drive, but the racing would be fine.
On rings.
Everyone knows that the TRW Sportsman All-Star program brings together the best racers in each category. They're vying for individual honors as well as team honors. But along the way, there are some interesting matchups. Coming up in the next round in Superstock, it's Greg Stanfield against Jeff Taylor. Stanfield was the world champion 2 years ago, Taylor the champion now. So in addition to trying to win for the team and himself, Greg Stanfield would like to beat the guy that wears that number 1.
I thought a whole lot about not putting that on there, but I thought, you know, I might never get to do it again, so I better go ahead and give it my last shot.
I've been wanting to run Jeff Taylor for a long time, and, you know, I'm going to give it my best shot, and, you know, what comes out, comes out.
As it turned out, Greg was a little too anxious to beat Taylor. Stanfield fouled out, giving Jeff Taylor a freebie into the finals.
All right, it's time for the final in Superstock. There will be a handicap start here. Jeff Taylor in the 92 Oldsachiever in the near lane up against Mike Say in the 67 Camaro over in the far lane. Now, Taylor has had 2 opponents red light against him today. Make that 3. Mike Say gambles on the lights and loses. To the winner's circle will go Jeff Taylor, the world champion from Lumberton, North Carolina. Now, Say almost pulled that off. He red lighted by 1/1000th of a second. You can see just how close it was right there. Wheels in the air, and he ran it all the way through, but he's not going to win today.
Well, if I figure this correctly, we're not going to see a lot of hooting and hollering, but some pretty happy members of the Taylor family.
Yeah, this little Achiever done its job today. We had a lot of luck. I told the guys this morning, I said, if we can get 3 red lights today, I won't be unhappy a bit.
Congratulations, Jeff. Now, we've got a classic battle coming up in Competition Eliminator. But first, let's take a look at one racer that came a long way to get here. One of the great things about the TRW program is that it does bring drag racing teams from all over the country together for the shootout of the greatest sportsman racers in drag racing. And interestingly enough, teams like Jeff Gillette and Art Matty with their Comp Eliminator dragster will get a chance to race against guys that they've never even seen before.
We like to go places we've never been before. We like to race with the fast guys. If you race with the fast guys and do good, you can be proud of that. If you get beat, well, they were fast guys, so.
Gillette in the far lane, representing Division 7, qualified 4th and gave Winston champion David Nickens a run for his money. When Jeff strapped a 511 light on the Castrol Olds, it took Nickens all he had to get by the Winter Nationals champion at the finish line.
What a final round we have got in Competition Eliminator. 2 of the best in the world. David Rampy in the left side of your screen in the far lane. In the near lane, the Castrol car. That is David Nickens, the present world champion. He's from Houston, Texas. From Alabama comes Rampy. Rampy in the H altered has the head started with a B altered, and Rampy cuts a heck of a light. Rampy may pull this up and charging hard. Whoa, blowing right by him is David Nickens. Nickens B-altered the Oldsmobile, have the horsepower in the middle of the racetrack. Right now, Rampy may have thought he had it won. He was wrong.
The TRW All-Star program is designed to bring the best against the best, and that certainly was what we had in the final in Comp.
I tell you, Bob, David Rampy's the toughest customer out there, and we felt we'd be up to the challenge. I tell you, this little buggy started moving around about mid-track, and my heart come up my throat, and I tell you, I was just sick. And when I looked up and stuck it in 5th gear and I thought I was going to catch him, I said, thank the Lord.
In late-breaking Top Fuel testing news, after rushing to complete their new dragster last weekend at Phoenix, the Pat Austin team suffered a setback on Monday when the car was destroyed in a crash. Pat is uninjured and is expected to be back in action at Pomona. In another testing story, the Jack Clark-owned Top Fuel team was out last weekend at Dallas with a surprise driver, IndyCar pilot John Andretti. The team reportedly ran Andretti, who is without a full-time drive this season, to attract potential sponsors. And if all goes well, further test sessions and licensing may happen in the future.
Vern Motes has been in every TRW All-Star race so far, but there's only one problem. He hasn't won a single round until today's race, when he beat Division 6's Bucky Austin. Now, one reason Motes has problems here, he has a lot of trouble figuring out this particular racing surface.
You got to watch it. It's not the best traction, but then you'll find some car to go down there and do excellent. So it's kind of a tricky track.
Old Vern got a freebie into the final as Todd Simpson fouled out, but Motes ran well anyway, karting a 6.11. Maybe Vern has finally got this track figured out after all.
With the alcohol funny car finalists already fired, there's a problem on the starting line. The crew for Vern Motes in the far lane trying to make repairs to a broken wheelie bar. And they are critical for control of these automobiles right up the starting line, and they have done it. Motes from Des Moines, Iowa will go to the starting line to face young Californian Mike Gordon. Gordon in the 92 Thunderbird in the near lane, far lane is Vern Motes, the 92 Dodge Daytona. Nobody has more experience in this category than Vern Motes. He's been doing it forever. Motes is staged and ready. Mike Gordon finally moves into the bing, and they're away. Vern Motes gets near the wall and has to shut off. Gordon almost loses complete control. Did not cross the center line, and Gordon recovers to win it at 7:17 to a losing 7:19. We've got to have another look at that one. First of all, it's Motes in trouble. He had to get off the throttle. You saw the violent shake on the Gordon car right there. All Mike could think about was keep it off the center line and disqualification.
When you think about Division 7, you think about alcohol cars. When you think now about alcohol cars for the next year, you're going to think the best is Mike Gordon.
Thank you. I think we both hopped up a little too much on that one. I know Seamus had a lot of trouble. I had to get in and out of it and back in it, and it was shaking and damn near across the center line, too. But, boy, I'm happy. This is great.
At the other end of the track, the top alcohol dragsters are going through their burnouts as they get ready for the final. Earlier, I spoke to a Division I racer who is really on a roll. Coming into the TRW race, Division I's Rich McPhillips had chalked up 2 divisional wins, and one of those wins propelled him into the TRW field. Now, Rich's car is unique.
This car is the longest in the class. It's 300 inches. It's maximum rule. The motor is even bigger than most, which means the car is heavier than most. It might be an advantage on a racetrack that's a little slick. And Columbus is notorious because of the sun and things to be a little slick.
In round 1, Rich used that longer dragster to put away Division 5's Tim Baxter with a 612. In the semis against California's Jim Rizzoli, McPhillips took an early starting line lead, but that advantage quickly melted away. Rizzoli got the win and a ticket into the finals.
Time for the final race of the day here in the TRW competition. Jim Rizzoli, that's him over in the far lane from California. He is up against Tom Conway, past world champion, number 2 in the world last year. Now, Rizzoli almost didn't make it here to Columbus. He really was the alternate. Tim Capaldi was supposed to make the trip. At the last second, he couldn't. And Rizzoli, driving 18 and 20-hour days, just got here in the nick of time. And look at this. He is handling Conway. He has defeated Conway. A better reaction time has put the dark horse in the winner's circle. Jim Rizzoli wins at 6:13 to a 6.05. You could clearly see Rizzoli in the far lane was out first. Conway had a lot of muscle, not enough to catch that hole shot. Bob's with the winner.
Well, I guess we settled this once and for all. The best alcohol racers are in Division 7. Congratulations, Jim.
Division 7 is where it's from. You betcha. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Your 6:13 beat his 6:05. With reaction times, mathematically, that race was a tie.
Hey, he came on top end. He usually out mile an hour as me. I didn't know who won at the other end. I saw his back wheel. It's got a real high cowl on it. And I saw his front tire, and it kept creeping. Come on, Oldsmobile, let's go. And it just, oh, great.
After seeing the other Division 7 guys win in the alcohol funny car, I guess you wanted to make it 2 for 2.
You betcha. Mike Gordon, he lives 30 miles from us, and we're going to party tonight.
Congratulations. Both winners, Mike Gordon, Jim Rizzoli.
Meet the winning division director, Craig Hutchison. And Craig, you've come close before. You got to be ecstatic to finally win it.
Well, for 2 years we've been runner-up. This year we finally took it to the bank, and we're number 1.
Unfortunately, you don't get to keep that $10,000 TRW bonus, though.
No, the $10,000 will be divided up amongst the 10 team members out there, and they'll be taking it back to the South Central Division.
Even though the division directors don't compete in the cars, there's a lot of competition between you to win this thing.
Oh, yeah, I haven't had a chance to win it, but every year I've had to live with another DD on top, and finally they're going to have to live with me.
Congratulations again.
Thank you, Steve.
Well, unfortunately, folks, that's all the time we have for this week's show. We will be back next weekend on TNN with another original NHRA Today. For all of us here, I'm Steve Evans. Thanks for watching.
NHRA Today is a presentation of Diamond P Sports.